Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Canal Algérie Midnight News, and these are our top stories. The President of the Republic, Al-Majid Tebboune, receives a phone call from Jordan's King Abdullah II. Economic focus this Sunday as the Algerian production fair continues in Algiers with a spotlight on the pharmaceutical industry alongside electronics. On the international scene, protests intensify in Morocco as demonstrators demand social justice and dignified life, denouncing inequality and insecurity. Welcome back. The President of the Republic, Al-Majid Tebboune, held a telephone conversation on Sunday with the King Abdullah II, sovereign of the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan, a conversation during which the two leaders exchanged vision on developments across the Arab world and the wider international situation. They also agreed to meet in the near future for in-depth discussions on several issues of mutual interest. During the call, King Abdullah II extended his New Year greetings to the President of the Republic, Al-Majid Tebboune, and to the people, the Algerian people, wishing Algeria continued progress and prosperity. President Tebboune, in turn, conveyed his New Year wishes to the King and the people of Jordan, expressing his hopes for further development and prosperity for the Hashemite Kingdom. The Cabinet of Ministers announced today the adoption of the joint declaration of the Second Ministerial Conference of the Russia-Africa Partnership Forum for 2019-2025. The declaration underscores the shared commitment of Russia and African countries to strengthen economic, trade and investment cooperation, promote peace and security, and support sustainable development. Meeting in Cairo, foreign ministers from both sides reaffirmed their commitment to implementing the forum's decision, including cooperation on international information security, counterterrorism, preserve historical memory, reconciliation, peace, as well as enhanced political coordination. The Algerian production fair continues at Safex in Algiers, where pharma industry is considered as true economic booster, covering a large part of the local demand. Report by Samit Khili, taken up by Mena Boubagra.
The pharmaceutical industry stands out as a strategic and rapidly evolving sector in the National Production Fair. The national laboratories now cover nearly 80% of local market needs, illustrating the progress made in terms of health, sovereignty, and reducing imports. With more than 230 pharmaceutical companies, most of which are dedicated to the production of medicines, Algeria has developed a solid industry based on capable production of thousands of pharmaceutical specialties. This dynamic also contributes to the creation of skilled jobs and strengthening the national economy. We have developed a very broad product range. Today, we manufacture more than 245 pharmaceutical products covering 22 therapeutic areas. The fair also highlights export ambitions, particularly towards African markets, as well as investment projects in more innovative medicines. Although booming, the pharmaceutical sector faces challenges, notably dependence on imported raw materials and the need to further develop biotechnologies. Today at the National Industrial Production Fair, held under the slogan Algeria is building its future, the BioCare Group is making its presence felt by highlighting its positioning in the national market. Comprising 5 production units, the group marks nearly 230 medicines across several categories. Notably, biological products, among the most important are the different types of insulin. These medicines are manufactured locally, 100% Algerian expertise, illustrating the group's policy in support of national products and strengthening the pharmaceutical sovereignty. The Algerian pharmaceutical industry appears to be one of the pillars of national production, undergoing consolidation with promising prospects at regional and continental level.
Another sector that also stood out during this fair is the electronic industry, whose quality and competitiveness particularly attracted visitors. With a high integration rate, these industries contribute to support the national economy and promoting local products through a wide range of companies and operators. Rani Al-Bahri.
In this context of accelerated technological change worldwide, the national electronics industry is striving to establish itself as one of the pillars of economic development. Technology is evolving rapidly, and we are keeping pace with global advances, allowing us to control the entire home with just a single button. The electronics sector is undergoing rapid transformation, both in terms of equipment and electronic solutions. This is a natural evolution that accompanies, in particular, the development of automation in Algeria, especially in the field of electronics. I locally manufacture all the equipment and solutions that meet the needs of Algerian households, using entirely Algerian know-how and skills. The National Production Fair provided a valuable opportunity to showcase the capabilities of local companies in the electronics industry, their ability to adapt to new technologies, and to highlight the level of local integration of domestic products. The electronics industry needs further development in Algeria, but partnerships with universities aim to strengthen the integration of skilled professionals and improve the integration rate, currently at 40 to 50%, thanks to the launch of a new production site. The electronics industry has made significant progress in Algeria. Local brands, as well as foreign and international brands, are producing within the country in partnership with technology partners as part of an electronic technology transfer program. To meet the needs of Algerian consumers, a partnership agreement has been signed with one of the world's largest companies as part of efforts to support national market development and strengthen the growth of electronics industry.
The World Arabic Language Day was marked by a month-long cultural and educational program involving Algerian diplomatic mission abroad, with the national community participating for the first time. Indeed, supervised by the Secretary of State to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and in charge of the national community abroad, Sofiane Cheib, and the President of the High Council of the Arab Language, Salah Belhaid. The event highlighted attachment to national identity and included the announcement of new educational and cultural initiatives, as well as plans to open Algerian cultural centers overseas.
Meeting the cultural and social needs of our community abroad aims to strengthen its attachment to the homeland, its values, culture and identity, in line with the President's instructions to preserve this identity, especially through teaching national languages to younger generations.
بما فيها تعليم اللغات الوطنية للأجيال الصاعدة. هذا الفعل النبيل الذي يجعلنا.
This initiative strengthens unity and a shared future with our diaspora through linguistic identity and the Arabic language.
In Morocco, public anger is continuing to grow, with fresh protests breaking out across the country. Indeed, demonstrators are voicing frustration over what they describe as ongoing injustice and repression, while recent floods have further fueled tension, exposing shortcomings in crisis management and living conditions. Rani Al-Bahri.
Mobilized to denounce living conditions that violate human dignity, these demonstrators were violently repressed by the Makhzen security forces, who had been instructed to prevent any gathering, thus silencing voices before they could be heard. The situation reignites the debate on the management of social movements and security response of the authorities.
Today, the residents of the Asfi city faced repression. We want to demonstrate peacefully, but the security forces opted for aggression and violent tactics against the citizens. What we are experiencing is not a natural disaster, but rather the consequences of neglect.
A human tragedy that reveals a distorted truth presented through an incomplete picture in a climate of oppressive media silence. The suffering of the Moroccan people is being concealed.
Faced with humanitarian crisis, the only response offered remains repression and arrests. We refuse to let the victims fend for themselves in defending their own interests. We refuse to let Asfi become a disaster zone.
Beyond the natural disaster, the floods revealed a deeper problem, a political system that appears more concerned with the country's image than with protecting its citizens and ensuring them a dignified life.
And in the Middle East, the massacres continue in the Gaza Strip, even after the ceasefire proclaimed on October the 10th. So today, 3 more Palestinians have lost their lives after the Zionist airstrike in the region. Manal Bubgra.
The situation in the Gaza Strip remains dire. The crimes of the Zionist colonizer continue against a civilian population already suffering from years of blockade and continuous bombardment. This weekend, dozens of Palestinians were martyred, such as in the Tufa neighborhood east of the Gaza city, where a school serving as a shelter for displaced persons was bombed. 6 people, including children, were killed. These attacks are part of a series of repeated violations of the so-called ceasefire. Palestinian health authorities report at least 395 martyrs since it came into effect. This morning, 3 civilians were killed in the Shujaiya neighborhood, targeted by drones and fighter jets belonging to the occupying army. For more than 2 years, the genocidal aggression against the Gaza Strip has caused more than 70,000 martyrs and more than 170,000 wounded, mostly women and children. Despite international calls to end the Zionist aggression, Gaza remains mired in violence, precariousness and suffering.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was it for tonight. Thank you for joining us. Stay tuned on Canal Algérie. Bye for now.